Sometimes I'm not sure if there is anything that wants to be spoken. And today was one of those days. I was just thinking, is there a video? Is there YouTube today? So I just go inside and I just get quiet and I just kind of sense into the field to see if there's anything here. And what happened right away is that the field wants to be acknowledged. The field wants to be met by us. And as I was just sitting in that, there was kind of a question like, is it too late? Can we still make a difference? Can we still do something to change the energies around on the planet? Can we still raise them? Has it gone down too far? And right away, it's obvious that no, it is never too late. It's never too late to tune in to the field. It's never too late. The field is always here. And it really is our task to tune into that. I talk a lot about like an antenna, and I like that metaphor from the movie Avatar when they're getting on their dragons, right? And then they take the hair and they like connect it into the dragon. I think it's something like that. And then it can take off and they're moving along as one. That's why they are in total synchronicity because they are tuned in to the same energy. And that is exactly what we can do and need to do. And it is always available. It is available this very moment. So I want to just take a moment right now to invite all of us to just drop from this busy mind that is overwhelmed, scared. Depending on where you are in the world, there's a lot of places that are very, very scary to be right now in a physical body. And they may not have access to tune into the field. They are too focused on survival, rebuilding, fleeing, all these things. That's when they come from the total survival energy. They can't tune in. They don't have that space for that. But we do. We do. Otherwise, we would not be sitting here together. And that's why I see it as our task to do it for them, not necessarily directing our energy to them. We certainly can, but to direct our energy to the field. Every time just one of us does that, that field gains entryway into this dimension, if I can say it that way. It's not really true, but it feels like we're just allowing more of that energy of the field, which is the kingdom of heaven or heaven on earth, the field of potentiality where everything is possible. That's all over, whether that's in a war zone or in a flood zone or in an evacuation zone, that is everywhere, all the time. Whether we are able to tune into it or not, it is always here. The best way to access that is just to do our best to drop from the mind down into the heart. I've always called this the mouthpiece of the divine. So that's why when I don't really know, shall I do a YouTube, or it can be in any situation when I go in, I just like let go of this, tune in here, but I also tune kind of out. It's almost like this expands out so that I connect with it. It's always here. But if I live here, trying to figure things out, trying to better things, trying to survive, I'm in a very different frequency that is very narrow and limited, very dualistic. There's no peace there. There's just a fumbling and scrambling to find peace in a place where there is no peace. Might be hard to accept that sometimes, that there is actually no peace to be found in the mind, because the mind is not created or made of peace. It's made of duality, where there will always be war and peace. I mean, there might be short peace, right? But they come together. You can't just have one without the other. So that's why we will never have peace on earth in this reality. But we will have peace if we go to the reality where peace is all there is. And for the mind that's maybe a little iffy to accept, because it does not know that, and it does not know that it's safe to let go of this survival mode that is just totally infiltrated in our nervous system. So it's not so easy to just drop the mind. I am aware of that. I'm a human being myself, and I'm very sensitive to energies in the world, so that, it has an impact. So for people who are sensitive, most light workers are very sensitive. We're very impacted by this very dense and dark energy. And that's why it's more and more and more important that we keep tuning in to what else is here. That's probably why we came here, to really bring our attention to the peace on earth, to the kingdom of heaven, the field. And it's just doing it now. Just notice that there is something else here. There is actually something else going on outside of the mind. The mind is not all there is. And the mind is not the solution for the problems. The mind is an avenue of awareness that might become aware of the solution of the problems. So the awareness that can come to the mind is when we just tune into the field. And just let's keep doing that as we are here together. Let's just tune into the field, tune into the heart, tune into our presence. It's like the sense of being here. It's not happening here. There is a sensation, a sense, a presence that we're here. And that presence does not start or end anywhere. It's just, you just tune into it, and then you just feel the expansion that you already are. There's a lot of clutter in there from the mind, and that's what we keep focusing on. That's what we've been programmed to focus on in this dimension. And now I would say we're being asked to unfocus on the mind and start focusing back on the field, on the oneness. Because if you're like me, you've kind of had enough of this mind stuff. It's like the wave going in and out. It's like it comes to a place where we've had enough, and then it starts turning back home. And many of us are longing to come back home. That's why we need to feel the calling to come back home. It's a calling, it's a longing, it's a feeling like, I'm done with that. I want to come back home again. So that's why following the longing, and or tuning into the longing in here, and then following it, then we automatically connect with what we're longing for. The longing is what we want. It's built in there. It is the peace on earth. It is the oneness, the connection. So just let's take time to do this many times a day, even if it's just for a moment or a minute. Just drop the mind and come back here, and then let yourself just sense into the field. It's invisible, it's inaudible. We might have some inner sense that senses it, but it's not our eyes. There might be an inner eye that can sense things, that can see things that are not visible to the physical eyes. We're all different. I just feel it more as, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just here. And it's very obvious when I leave this little thing behind here and just tune in. And we keep doing it together, just feeling the field. And then we can make ourselves available for that. And then get our insights, our downloads, our next steps. Just like I did right before this recording. We just sit down and tune in. And then it was very obvious that it wanted to be known, it wanted to be seen. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just helping us all. I'm always part of this, just so you know, just to remember, tune in. And it's like, let it have us, let it have you. It's this big ocean of oneness, and we're just a tiny little drop in it. And if we stop kind of separating ourselves by focusing in here in the mind, as if we're separate and we have to figure out how to manage this life, just let that little drop just melt, just merge with the ocean. We do help raise the frequencies here. We do bring peace to where there's no peace. We bring light to the darkness. We're not doing anything. We stop doing, and we just open up to the ocean of love, the field, heaven. It's already here. There's nothing to do. The only thing there is to do is to not do for a moment. I have the beautiful redwoods here behind where I live, and there's some streams, there's some water flowing. And I just like to sit there and just really sense into the water, the movement of the water, the sound of the water. And then it's almost like, all of nature opens up. It makes me realize that it is here and available to tune into. I think that's probably one of the best things we can do right now to help raise the frequency, to connect with that inside of us. And if there is some kind of a movement to do something, as little or as big as it may be, just follow it, and just follow it and get familiar with letting the ocean move the drop and see what happens. You have a whole ocean, you have a whole kingdom of love, a whole field of potentiality behind you that knows exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And we have lost trust in the field because we have been programmed to try and be a separate little drop, trying to figure it all out on our own. So let's just take a moment. You can close your eyes or keep them open. And let's just tune into the field. Thank you.